I truly thought this nonsense was over with. I thought, just maybe, the delusions and the blasphemy was done and over with. But once again, Itachi fans continue to suck his meat with maximum efficiency. What's good, y'all? And today, I'm going to be talking about a very popular anime debate in the Naruto community for some reason, and that is Madara versus Itachi. For this video, I'll be going through a live Madara versus the Itachi we see in the Akatsuki. So basically, he's the same Itachi who fought Sasuke. And I'm going to be comparing their Ito forms. I'm going to try my best to make this well put together and clear so I can finally put this debate to rest, even if it only gets out to a few people. First, I'm going to get into some Itachi feats and ways he can try to win against Madara. Basically give him his flowers before I shit on him. Now, first thing that I hear Itachi fans bring up is his Susanoo and how overpowered the Tosca Blade and Yadomir is. These two weapons are very powerful in their own right. The Tosca Blade has the ability to seal anything that it pierces, and it doesn't seem to have like a set shape, but it usually has this like wild fire sword type of look. And the Yadomir is said to be able to change shape, and there's even a statement saying that it can block anything. But Itachi's Susanoo is arguably not his best weapon. His Genjutsu is also very strong. He had eyes that originally belonged to Shisui Uchiha, fully equipped with broken Genjutsus like Tsukunomi. Tsukunomi is basically a Genjutsu where Itachi puts you in a world where he controls everything. And lastly, he's a Amaterasu, a black flame that basically chases niggas down until it hits them. He has many more impressive attributes like his IQ, reaction time, and taijutsu, but these are the main traits and abilities that we see brought up in Itachi debates. And now, I'm going to tell you why none of that shit matters. I'm going to start off with this Susanoo that I personally think is massively overrated. Like, if you line up 10 Itachi fans and ask them if his Susanoo can solo Kaguya, at least half would say yes. Don't get me wrong, I do think it's strong, but it's just not as good as people make it out. Starting with his Tosca Blade, I think there's two reasons Madara can avoid being touched by the blade at all. He's way too fast, and his Susanoo is gigantic compared to Itachi's. Starting off with his speed, he was able to turn around, react, and block an attack from the Raikage, who could get to light speed mid-air while at 80% of his physical prowess. And he was able to react from a blitz from KCM2 Naruto, who could also get to light speed, and who was faster than the Raikage. We don't really have any speed feats for the Tosca Blade because its only two kills were against people who were standing still, which is Orochimaru and Nagato. Both characters are massively slower than Madara, and as I said, they were standing still. And you could say part of the reason why Orochimaru got caught was because he didn't know that it was the Tosca Blade, and he thought that it was just a regular Susanoo sword, and he was being cocky. Madara's Susanoo just dwarfs Itachi's in size, because his Susanoo was able to dwarf the size of his meteors that he was bringing down against the Shinobi Alliance, and even those are much bigger than Itachi's Susanoo. And one last thing before I move on from the Tosca Blade and go on to the Yadomir, it really is just a regular blade until it pierces someone. It acts as a regular sword when it slices Orochimaru's snake's heads off and blood comes out. It didn't seal that. It only started sealing when he directly stabbed Orochimaru in the chest. And I just don't think Madara is just going to sit there and let the Tosca Blade stab him in the chest. Like, I just don't think that's happening. This is the same Madara who was dodging Gaara's sand easily without even looking at it. And you could easily get Gaara's sand up to sound speed, being able to keep up with even just Part 1 Rock Lee, who's faster than Sasuke, who was dodging sound waves. And even if you think he could pierce Madara's Susanoo, which I don't think he could, Madara could just hop out of it and rely on that speed I was talking about and dodge the blade for another few minutes until Itachi's chakra burns out. And I didn't even mention the fact that he can summon the full power Nine Tails and wrap his perfect Susanoo around it. And now on to the Amaterasu. This one's just going to be a short explanation because Madara has both direct counters for it, that being the Susanoo ribcage he can summon instantly, and in all of his other forms he has the Rinnegan that can just absorb it. Now the Yadomir is very powerful and is a great defensive tool, but as far as we know, it's only unidirectional, meaning it only gets pointed in one direction. Madara can overwhelm him with 25 wood clones that all have Susanoo and break Itachi's Susanoo. And now for Itachi's last line of defense, Genjutsu, which is also useless. Madara's eyes are eternal Mangekyo Sharingan compared to Itachi's just regular Mangekyo Sharingan. And throughout the show, it's been shown that if you have stronger eyes than your opponent, Genjutsu is not as effective. And even Itachi himself said the only way to stop him is with Mangekyo Sharingan. And as I said, Madara has eternal Mangekyo Sharingan. And let's say that even if Madara did get caught in like a Suko no Mi, he would catch on to it very quickly and break out of it. So all in all, alive forms, I'd have to say Madara wins. Now, Itachi is a different monster because he was able to box KCM1 Naruto as a reanimation, giving him light speed combat speed. But I'm afraid it'd be worse for Itachi if he fought Madara in Ito form, since he now has the Rinnegan, and as I mentioned earlier before, the Rinnegan can just absorb all of his jutsus, Amaterasu included. And due to me not wanting to run circles around everything I'm saying the same things over again, my first argument for alive Madara versus alive Itachi is basically the same thing. So, in conclusion, Madara no diss Itachi in Ito forms as well. The one thing I say I'll dislike about debating Itachi related topics is that his fans pit him against characters who are just obviously stronger. So I have to dog on him and make it seem like I hate him, but I really don't. I mean, he's an alright character, he's not my favorite, but he's still very strong, still very cool, and very well written. I just don't think he has anything in store that could really hurt Madara like that. And as I keep saying, Itachi is still very strong, but there are just a lot of war arc characters that are way stronger than him. Naruto, Sasuke, Kakashi, Minato, Hashirama, Might Guy, Obito, and there's probably more that I'm forgetting, to be honest, but all those guys have forms where they were just stronger than him in the war arc. I think Itachi's tier by the end of Shippuden is like high Kage tier. He's up there with the Raikage, he's over most of the Akatsuki, and he's a top 5 Uchiha in terms of strength. But there's a huge gap between him and Madara in every category. Strength, speed, hacks, durability, visual prowess, Kekkei Genkai, Shenjutsu, Chakra Reserve, and stamina. And he has better feats and victories. You could argue IQ. I think Itachi might be smarter than Madara, but Madara was able to cheat death twice and carry out his plan successfully behind the scenes. So it's close, but I think Itachi might have a slight edge. So yeah, that's how I think Madara would beat Itachi if they were to fight in both alive and Ito forms. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like and subscribe, and let me know who you think would come out with the dub.